North Korea has just pissed off its biggest ally, its daddy, its main source of everything, China. China is completely silent right now about this, but I can tell you for sure, they are absolutely furious, and they are losing control of their annoying little child, North Korea. You see, North Korea needs China, and China needs North Korea on its team. But a massive wrench has just been thrown into the works, and you have to read between the lines to see how quickly things have just deteriorated in the world's new axis of powers. So you guys have probably heard that Russia's invasion of Ukraine has just heated up to unprecedented levels, all thanks to that big injection of fresh blood into the meat grinder that is Russia's front line. North Korea has sent over 12,000 troops to Russia to fight Ukraine, and let's be honest, no one but Russia is happy about that. The North Korean troop deployment is a dramatic step, and China will not like it one bit. But wait, aren't we building up to World War III? Aren't we supposed to be like this new Axis versus ally powers? Isn't NATO like one side, like the allies, and then the Axis powers are China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea? Shouldn't they all be working together? Why the hell would China be angry if Russia wants to borrow some North Korean troops? Aren't they all friends? It turns out, no. This video is brought to you by Incogni. Did you know that there's companies out there called data brokers that are behind something absolutely terrible? They take your data and information and they sell it on the open market, creating junk mail, identity theft vulnerabilities, and so much more. What do data brokers like to get and sell? Well, your full name, your email, your home address, your gender, your phone number, your education, your IP information, your relatives, aliases, your social security number, your employment history, and even your shopping habits. Thousands of companies are collecting, aggregating, and trading that personal data without you knowing about it. But you have the right to request that these data brokers delete your information and protect your privacy. The bad news is that it would take you years to do this manually, but Incogni can do the messy work for you. Incogni helps protect your privacy and take your personal data off the market by reaching out to data brokers on your behalf, requesting your personal data removal, and dealing with their objections. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Go to incogni.com/cmilk and use the code CMILK to get 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Take your personal data off the market today. So not only are North Korean soldiers defecting as soon as they get to the front lines, but China doesn't want them there to begin with. For real though, you know it's bad in North Korea when a North Korean soldier shows up on the front lines, looks into Ukraine and sees all the destruction and says, "Damn, now this is what I've been missing out on." Seriously though, Ukraine has set up a hotline for North Koreans, with some video material as well, to show them what they get if they defect. And it does look like paradise compared to getting parasites and starving and freezing to death and dying in someone else's war that you don't even want to fight in. Ukraine's surrender hotline is tempting North Koreans to desert, promising that they'll be well fed. Come on, guys, let's fix this headline a little bit. Ukraine's surrender hotline is tempting North Koreans with dessert, promising they'll be well fed. Anyway, China is pissed because China needs control, absolute control, over North Korea. Remember when I said you have to read between the lines? In a letter last week, seen as signaling Beijing's growing displeasure, the Chinese leadership thanked Kim Jong-un for a congratulatory message on the 75th anniversary of Communist China's founding, but they omitted a traditional reference that they always include to North Korea as a friendly neighboring country. The border of North Korea and China, which I've spent a lot of time on, in fact, I made a whole documentary about, is strategically important to China because it acts as a buffer vassal state. And North Korea has to do what China says. And that also keeps South Korea, then by association the USA, away from China's border. When the West sanctions North Korea and punishes them for being bad, China bypasses sanctions and when it's not supposed to, continues to trade with them. In fact, I saw it in real life. The trucks were on the China side. During the daytime and at night, they would cross the border into North Korea. This effectively turns North Korea into a vassal state that has to do what China says. It's a parasitic relationship.
Really, North Korea gets a ton of its trade from the Chinese border, whether that's through the black or gray market, and China is really the only reason that that country doesn't fully implode. But then Russia comes in and starts knocking at North Korea's door, which it also shares a border with. Russia needs men, and they say, hey, North Korea, you have like millions and millions of soldiers. I mean, look at the actual sheer numbers that North Korea has. And they say, can we borrow tens of thousands of your best men? And then North Korea says, sure. China effectively then loses control over that buffer state. When the highest bidder, and in this case, Russia, creates a military alliance right under China's nose and usurps China's delicate balance in the region, they're definitely not going to be happy. Both Russia and North Korea are supposed to answer to China. They are their bank, after all. But that's not how it's going. China might have full control over North Korea's economy, but they definitely don't have full control over their foreign policy. You see, China is walking this tightrope of trying to destabilize the USA, destroy the West, also take control of Asia, and effectively take over the rest of the world, but they have to do it within certain rules and parameters. For example, they are effectively allied with Russia at this point, and they support their war in Ukraine and absolutely benefit from Russia being sanctioned, as China effectively acts as Russia's bank. But they can't say they support Russia's war, and they can't publicly send arms and things that break the rules, because that would open them, China, to sanctions from the West. And China cannot afford to be sanctioned right now. In fact, they desperately need trade with their perceived enemies, the USA and the West, to keep their struggling economy afloat. So if you piss off the USA and its allies too much, you not only hurt your economy more with sanctions, but you bring the USA and its allies closer together, and then the USA and its allies do that bad thing that China hates so very, very much, and that is increased presence in Asia, where China is trying to control. Japan, the Philippines, a lot of these countries are very pissed off at China right now. And this alliance between North Korea and Russia makes everything even more intense. In fact, everyone in the world is worried that North Korea will get what it wants from Russia. A more robust military, a proper nuclear program, weapons training, and so much more. This chaos, this tension, all this stuff that's happening because of this Russia and North Korea alliance, this doesn't work for China. You see, you have to understand China. China works best when it can repair relations with countries like the USA and Japan on paper, politically, and make everyone calm down. And then over many, many years, completely take over key industries, steal intellectual property, gain footholds in political positions, and slowly turn their host country into places that serve China's best interests. China's game is malicious, it's tricky, and it's really, really awful. But it's not as quick and knee-jerk and gung-ho as Russia and North Korea's sanctioned into a corner, carefree, anything-goes attitude, because China has way more to lose. But this Russia-North Korea alliance gets far worse for China. You see, China has a defense pact with North Korea. If North Korea decides to go all in, and remember, they don't really have anything to lose. If they decide to go all in and join this war with Russia to the point where the rest of the world looks at it and says, hey, North Korea is now an official belligerent in this battle. North Korea is full on participating in this war. It might open up North Korea to an attack from a foreign country. And then China might have to come to North Korea's aid and drag itself into a conflict that not only does it not want to be in, but it can't afford to be in. The be-all and end-all of this alliance between Russia and China and Iran and North Korea, the new axis, it isn't as strong as people are making it out to be. It turns out dictatorships can appear strong when they work, but alliances need to be based on a shared goal or a vision or values. And those values need to be shared by a good chunk of the populace. You see, when your values are some powerful dudes want control of the world and they really hate America together, it's not super conducive to the morale of the actual troops that you need to inspire to give up their lives for you. All sources are down below. Please don't forget to check out The China Show. That's my podcast. It's every single week. It's both visual on YouTube and it's also audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. It's everything that you need to know, up-to-date information about China that happened that week. It's the current events. It's a China current events show. I highly recommend you go check it out. You're going to absolutely love it. If you go check it out on audio, make sure to give us a follow. Make sure you give us a review. And if you go check it out on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the channel at The China Show. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.